The quote is by Quintus Ennius, the father of Roman poetry. Let no one weep for me, or celebrate my funeral with mourning, for I still live, as I pass to and from through the mouths of men. When you view the passing of our friend through this lens, the burden of grief feels a bit lighter, does it not? So let us tell tales, and in so doing, keep Paul alive and in our hearts. Let me tell you of that time Paul stood on the ledge of a 30-foot drop into the cool waters of the Grand Canyon for what, to him, must have felt like an eternity. It was only a few minutes, but it struck all of us as funny that this man, who was an avid climber, mountain biker, backcountry enthusiast and skier, and kite sailor, and all-around badass, didn't do a swan dive into the river. That said, when he finally did jump, I'd never seen a bigger smile. Let me tell you of the literal thousands of miles Paul and I, along with many of the friends here, biked together over these last 17 or so years. We suffered, rejoiced, bonked, went way too fast downhill, and fixed that damn back tire of his more times than I can count. All the while talking about life, politics, love. I'm looking at you, Mary. Work, our future adventures that we would have, and relentlessly teasing each other as middle-aged men with raging Peter Pan complexes will do. Let me tell you about countless adventures we all had on the playa at Burning Man. On second thought, maybe I'll just keep those to myself. Let me tell you about the doctor who always cared for people, whether they were his patients or not. How he never could never get my anesthesia dose right, and I kept waking up in the middle of the endoscopy. He blamed it on my metabolism and the anesthetist, but his impish grin said otherwise. I'm just glad it was just an endoscopy. I've referred a number of friends to Paul over the years, and to the person, they said he was a caring man and a wonderful doctor. He was committed to his craft and loved working with and healing patients above all. Let me speak of tequila. Check. Tequila killed the microphone. Not the first time. Let me tell you of a dog and animal lover without peer. Connor was his boy, but all of our dogs were his family. God, he loved that dog. Lastly, let me tell you about a 1993 Honda Civic. I broke into that damn car to get locked out keys, help fix any number of mechanical maladies, and was generally aghast that one of my very best friends, a pillar in our community, and a redeemed medical doctor would be seen in that thing. Our friend group tried to get him to donate it to our Burning Man camp so we could chop it and turn it into a giant Roomba one year. But to no avail. That car, however, was emblematic of Paul's values to some degree. He found the idea of getting rid of something that still worked sometime, like the rear tire on his mountain bike or the binding of his backcountry rig, an insult to either a sense of frugality or sentimentality. I also like to think that he enjoyed having a little Reno hillbilly in him, and that car definitely engendered that. As a Reno native who has lived much of his life here, it was wonderful to see this refined, cosmopolitan man adore the area I come from. And make no mistake, Paul loved this place. He loved its beauty, its access to wild and adventurous spaces, and he loved the grit and freedom of its culture. We have lost one of our own. And there's a gaping hole that can't ever be filled in his absence. So, go out and tell your tales about Paul amongst your people, and let those tales become legends. And in those legends, we will find the sting of our losses blunted and our lovely memories of the man exaggerated. Let us not be haunted by Paul when we are in the mountains, on our bike rides, on the playa, on our skis, or on our adventures, for he is among us. These are the places where we can commune. These are the places where we can commune with him and take solace in his presence. We can express our love for him by doing these things and honor his memory. In closing, I loved Paul like a brother and told him so regularly. I have no regrets about our relationship and was blessed by every minute we spent together. Give me a minute. I like to think that when I embark on my final greatest adventure, Paul would be waiting for me, sitting in that damn car with his bike on the top, his keys in the back, grinning at me, and he'll say, "Rip, where you been? You're gonna love it here. Let's go for a ride."
Aww.
Thank you.